What's up, guys?
Hello, everyone.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Sorry about being a little late on this, guys. How is everybody?
Yeah, so Pato is joining and from our side.
His Mubashir, there he is. All right. So now we just got Pato hopping in. Um, yeah, I guess we'll just wait for him to hop in. Hey Siri, tell Nick Carnes. Apparently he had already had a meeting with that guy, so we should split it.
Sending.
Especially since you agreed to it. Apparently he had already met with all those people. All right. There he is.
Yep.
All right. The whole gang's here. Lewis, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you, buddy.
Okay, just making sure you were here. All right, cool. So let's a couple items we want to do. So I think Lewis wants to get like I was telling him the game plan is likely a conversational bot plus a qualifying booking bot for the recruiting flow. And so I think that's pretty straightforward. We're just passing the custom fields in so that the bot can confirm that they are, what industry they're in, whatever the custom fields are. Um, is that basically what we're doing, Diane?
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, that's what we are doing right now.
All
So
right.
the Pato and I have worked on the script for the Zappy chat.
Okay.
So I think we can share you that file so you can review.
Oh, great. Lewis was asking. That's exactly what he was asking for. So that's perfect.
Yeah, I don't
And
know what to ask for, right? I know that there must be a framework to work within, right?
yeah, usually
Yep.
we have a Word doc where we keep the copy for clients to approve. And so I imagine that's basically what they've prepared here. Um, and then we also want to just map out exactly what we need to do here. I think I'm unclear as to what's already in the system and what we need to create. So it looks pretty simple. It's like two flows, one for new and one for existing clients. And so all these triggers are already, these are the triggers. Is that right? No, that's the flow.
This is for
The-
the agency. Are
Yeah.
we talking through the agency structure?
Yeah. Let's talk through the agency structure while he pulls up the copy for the recruiting.
Okay, cool. And so yeah, so there's really a couple just to revitalize where you're at. There's there's really three levels of entry point on the agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have people emailing in on the email chain, sending in some
Mm-hmm.
kind of an email. We got to support those people, right? But the logic that we're going to be supporting that with is already the same logic that it's new or existing, right? And then the newer existing flow is just the same qualifications, just the entry point, right? We'll start with the new, right? Hey, we see you join the group, whatever, right? This is the content support team. Welcome on that big square,
Mm-hmm.
right? Check your Facebook app for group access, the big square below that.
Mm-hmm.
One more. right? Check your Facebook group for access. There's training content for marketing operations, like some type of engagement framework. Like, what are you most interested in? What direction can we point you in,
Right.
To get a response. Some type of spun there. And they're going to land, but regardless of what they say there, they're going to land on the bottom two, like those two, right? You're either going to land on, okay, perfect. This is why we have our daily sales training. Do you want me to get you access to that call on the left box? Or if they say operations, finance, marketing, whatever, right? It's the right box.
Right.
Okay, great. We got the daily management group Zoom. Do you want me to get you scheduled for one of those links?
Okay.
So it's one of those two boxes when it's new, right? And then on
Right.
the existing, it's the same flow, right? Hey, is this X? Great. It's whoever with Landon's team. We see you've been in the Facebook group a while, like on the right-hand flow,
Yeah.
right? We want to make sure you get the right content, right? Like we've opened up our training. What type of content would you be most interested in?
All right.
Some type of spun that way, right? And then they land kind of on the same group call.
Okay. So here is how we do that. So, and I know you're taking notes here. So it sounds like we need a trigger that adds them. We need really two campaigns. Well, one's really just when a new person emails in or um is added to the membership group, it initiates this message to go outbound. So this message goes outbound, and then it needs to continue to send messages, after that just say, hey, didn't hear back from you yet. Um, do you know which type of content would be most helpful for you? So just a flow that continues to ask those questions. And
Okay.
we need one flow for existing clients that we can send them through that should be basically like our text nurture outbound that we have in Clean
Yeah.
Slate.
Yeah.
That's gonna say it's just the same thing. It's the exact flow we have that sends the, hey, is this X? Great, it's, and then it can just leave off great, it's, and then oops, sent too early. Sent too early. X with Landon's team. You've been in the Facebook group a while. We've opened up training for content, and then it should just continue again with like messages that are continuing to try to engage them about asking which type of content they want. And so the tail end of these flows should be the same for this flow and this one, and we should go on for a month, I would say. What do you think, Lewis?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought I was on mute. Yeah, because there's a bunch of it, right? Because remember, there's going to be the daily sales training Zoom that happens. There's going to be the daily management network Zoom, and then the once a week Zoom, right? And so if you click down a couple boxes, right, you've got the Zoom no show, Zoom show, not interested, right?
Right.
So after each meeting, right, whether they were registered or not, right, it should be the Zoom no show sequence, right? Like, hey, saw you happen to miss it. Any
Right.
interest in the replay? Right, we didn't happen to catch you. Any interest in the replay, or would you just like to talk to somebody about working with our team, right? And so
Right.
whatever qualification. So basically, it's the top half is try to get them to a group call, and the bottom half is after the group call runs, is there value in sending it to the no-show people that were registered, all the contacts? Hey, we just ran the group call on these three topics. Do you want the replay?
Yeah.
We just maybe add a square there, right? Zoom no-show, and maybe it's like Zoom no-show replay,
Let me see
right?
how to add a square
You just right click on the Zoom no-show
on the Zoom no show.
and then copy. Oh, you can't copy. Okay, so
Might
I
need you
gotta
to
change
give
your
me
access group.
permission.
Yeah. And so there should just be like, because there's going to
So
be,
when should we? I guess so. Like I was saying, these are both going to have the same tail end to them, where it's continuing to message them for a month, and we could at some point start just transition the outbound messages to talking about the Zoom shows that just came or the replay, right?
yeah.
So in these flows where we're asking them, trying to engage them in the conversation, um, actually it needs to be two separate. It's two separate conversations because one is a conversation that's going to talk about the different. Well,
there's really, it's like the engagement is the one up atop and existing, right? Like it's kind of three campaigns, I guess. The engagement's the one up top to poke DR off the existing flow.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the new flow, which is simple because it's new. You've got the existing, and then almost it's like this Zoom flow as like a replay engagement level, right? It's like, hey, we trained today on how to improve your sales process, right? Is that
Right.
something you're interested in? Like just spinning up some version of that, right?
So we need to have a custom field that updates with their Zoom status, I think.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
so,
I think we should land that from Pipe Dream, but yeah, exactly.
yeah, so we land it from Pipedream and it fills out a custom field that says Zoom no show, or Zoom show. We can probably even get how much they watched it when they jumped out. And
Exactly.
so it could just be a human language um, custom field that says they watched 25. It should be as simple as watch 0%. So it can just be a percentage that fills in the custom field. And so we can use that to go into the bot so the bot knows how much they watched. Or either so that in that first message that goes outbound, it can populate with a message that says, hey, we saw you either didn't show or watched however much.
Yeah.
Um, and then the main thing that I'm trying to work around in my head is like you have to tell the bot what the initial message that you asked was. And so
Yeah.
like usually it thinks it is, do you want to speak? And so for these two flows, it's going to be, the question
I
is,
mean, I
what should
guess the best entry point, I don't know if you can start as basic, but the best DR entry point we've got is really just like, hey, is this X, right? Hey, Grant, question mark? I
yeah,
don't know. Unless you got a better way, but you normally, if like whenever I'm outbounding somebody, I'm like, hey, is this Mrs. Johnson? Yeah, hey, how
right.
you doing? Hey, it's Lewis over with service. How you doing today? Just checking on your account, blah, 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 right? And so the best way to trigger a response to get them into the logic flow is, hey, is this X?
Yeah.
Some
Let me show
spun
you,
off
let
of
me show you
that.
what we have. You're going to like it. So I think this is the best one to show you. So usually we say, hey, is this X? And
Yeah.
then it waits like 2 hours and then replies with like telling them what it's about if they haven't responded.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll show you how it goes.
That makes sense.
This is the flow we're gonna basically be duplicating and editing. Do do do. So the first message is, hey, is this such and such? And then it waits 1 hour. And if they say yes, it's them, it sends a message like this that says, uh, repeats their name back and says you opted, and but it doesn't send the rest. The whole purpose of this is to make it seem human. And
Mhm.
then a third of a minute later, it sends another message that says, sorry, sent too early, you opted in, and then
Yeah, I think
drops.
that's cool.
So basically, this is the one we're going to redo. If they don't confirm their name, it says um, the it introduces who we are and what we are and says, um, we'll say something like, we know we've had you in this community for a while. Wanted to see what kind of content you'd be more interested in.
Yeah, exactly right.
And then it keeps going for like a
We've
month,
got a
right?
ton of training, right? We could work the copy. We've got a ton of training,
Yeah.
marketing, sales. Like, what would you be most interested in hearing from the team, right?
Right. And I think to get the best responses, we're going to want to maybe like talk a little bit about like some specifics in the content.
Yeah.
And some we might need maybe does Mubashir know like what's in this kind of content well enough to help with these messages?
Let me see.
Like so he can say, um, I'm trying to
No, I
think.
mean if it's laid out on like a wireframe, That's probably where like I would wordsmith the content, probably the same way you would, right?
Yeah.
As
I would
long
be
as it's
giving, I would be
wireframe.
dropping lead magnets, basically be saying, hey, we have some content about this. Would that be interesting to you? Or would
Yeah,
you
we
like
have a
to see?
training or a replay, right? We got to train, we got to replay. Like it'd be really driven off of like high value replay. Like the people that buy the most money, give us their business the fastest, are the ones that either watched through a chopped up version of a replay or a replay, right? Like it's really high touch engagement. So it
Right.
would be like it'd be like a replay registration type thing, maybe.
Right. So that means we just need to get the basics in there and then send you the
Exactly.
link to edit the copy. And then
Exactly.
here's what we're going to use for our um, Zoom follow up. Right now, we use Go High Level to track how much they watch in the video, but we'll just use Zoom through Pipedream. And so, guess what? We already ready to go for you, man. It's right here. And so, video tracking status. We fill our custom field that shows how much they watched.
Is there value in using the go high level? Because
Uh,
the replay side, we just got to put the replay in high level. I mean, it's not that we.
yeah, we could. Yeah, we could just use the same flow and you just got to host the video here and make a web page to display it in.
Go high level introduce a new video player. I think you will be loving it.
Go high
Yeah,
level.
I just turned it on.
Yeah,
It's only for the community section though, right?
yeah. For now it's the community session, but the player is already updated in funnel as well, so we can embed good videos in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if I go to our video funnel, it's gonna have that right now?
I think we need to just turn on some updates because there are some new options that can be attached if like we already have opt-in form and tracking stuff and some more stuff like the video player was also has an update. I saw some
Okay.
new option.
I turned it on in labs yesterday for the community. I didn't know it had other stuff too though.
Yeah, I saw some updates for the video option in funnel when I was
Oh,
doing the jobs work, but
all
I
right.
need to again.
Yeah,
But I
so
think the new look is great.
all right. So we'll just get a download of the whichever do you want to like is it a replay of the most recent one or do you just want us to have one in general that we use every week?
Yeah, it'll be based on the content, right? I'll point you to the right link.
Okay. So um
If we can lay out the wireframe, I'll be able to lay out how the content should go where.
right. And then these flows don't have to stop right here. If they watch 50%, it can keep going until they watch it again. And then we just needed to reset this. If they go to watch the video again, it should take them out of this workflow
Yeah.
and restart it. But it can continue messaging them based on how much they watched as long as you want.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that makes sense. Let me go back to there it is. Yep. And so how long should we try to get them into one of these live live meetings before we offer the replay?
I think the replay is no weight step off of either. It's just like, maybe it's parallel campaigns based on the tag, right?
Yeah.
Like if
The
they
only
haven't.
the only problem is it's going to with the outbound flows that are continuing from both of these, it's gonna have to know like the question we're asking. So we're gonna have to either set it as, do you want to see the Zoom replay, or um, which type of content are you interested in? It's
uh,
Let's
yeah,
have some.
I think the what type of content are you interested in, right? Because at a minimum, maybe we start with the once a week replay, right? And basically like heading the board meetings are on Wednesdays,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it should be like what type of content are you interested in? And then, making sure you got registered for the next board meeting, right? Maybe it's like cycling the message, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know the framework, but
I mean, we
you've got
can
a couple
update.
campaigns happening.
You can do it. So, Nyan, after the outbound message, like we could cycle it and say, hey, I just realized like if they reply with what type of content they're interested in, then we have to cut them off of the flow at that point because we can't keep asking them that. So if they answer what type of content they're interested in, then we need to switch them to a different outbound flow that's
So
then
do we need a different outbound flow, or we can initiate the AI?
the AI, like let's say they tell us what type of content they're interested in and then they don't continue the conversation, right? We don't want
Yes.
the AI to then start continue messaging them about what type of content they're interested in, you know?
Yeah. So when I and Patwari were talking about this, so we thought like if we have multiple bots for each of the contracts or offers, so we just need to know which type of uh, contract they are interested, so we
Right.
can just have that bot for him.
What we should do is so the initial bot is trying to figure out what kind of content they're interested in. As soon
Yeah.
as the conversational bot determines which one
Yeah.
they're interested in, it needs to add a tag that indicates what type of content, and that tag should remove them from this flow that's asking about the content and add them to a flow that is talking about that type of content.
Yeah. So it's like a qualification one.
Well, it wouldn't.
Uh, I just meant to say
I'm,
like conditions, like based on the options, you can go to different bots.
I'm talking about a different nurture flow. The nurture flow has to change once they tell us what type of content they're interested in,
Okay.
right? So as soon as they tell us what type of content they're interested in, it needs to add a tag that indicates the type of content. And then that tag should remove them from this nurture flow so we need 3 nurture flows. If there's how many types of content are there?
Yeah, it's sales, marketing, operations, finance, right? The ones that are listed.
Okay, so we
Actually,
need
we have this kind of setup implemented in CleanSlate already. Like we first determine if they are interested in funding or credit repair. Based on that, we put them a tag, and the bot will only talk about his interest from that point.
and I want to make sure you guys know I'm not talking about changing the bot. I'm talking about changing the nurture
The,
flow.
the,
The bot probably needs to change too, but not necessarily. It could stay the same conversational bot.
yeah, yeah, that tag will remove them from the other outbound flows too.
So we need
Like
4. So we need 5 nurture flows. One that's asking about what type of content they're interested in, and then once we determine the type of content they're interested in, it needs to switch to one of these 4 to a nurture flow for each of those. So it should add a tag that says
uh, this lead is interested in on that.
it should be a tag for marketing, operations, pricing, or sales. Once it adds that tag, it switches them to the nurture flow for that sequence. And
Yeah.
it should update the initial message field for the Zappy bot. So that tag will switch them to either one of these 4 nurtures, and it's going to update the initial message to say, would you be interested in coming to a daily I
Yeah, it's
guess
like the
it should
talk
say
track is
which.
once they tell us what they're interested in, the talk
Mhm.
track is, well, listen, the best way to get direct access to this is with our daily access to our team calls, right? You want to jump on the next team call, right?
Right.
When are you free? Are you free today at 2, or are you free, another day this week at 2, right? That's the work with our team call, or it's like the daily sales call. Or like the best way to work on sales and controls is really on our daily ride along call.
I see. So this is for marketing, operations, pricing, finance. So is finance missing right here? Should this have finance
Yeah.
as an option too?
Yeah.
Okay. And so if they say sales, if it's the sales tag, then we're asking them about the daily sales meeting. and that's a nurture sequence that continues to ask them about that.
Yeah.
And then at some point, like a week or two into that sequence, if they still haven't booked or shown up, then we start talking about the recorded Zoom meetings.
Yeah, and so like I put those out, right? Basically, like if they haven't really like responded to one of these two flows, right? Like tell us what you're interested in. By the way, we have an upcoming training, right, on Wednesday, right? Something like that, right? By the way, um, right, by the way, upcoming, right? If they haven't like responded, right? Or if they haven't like logged in and registered and hey, we see that you registered, you missed it, no show, whatever, you didn't register, but do you want the replay? Right? This is like almost like 3 additional
Yeah.
follow flows. But when they're coming through, they're going to come through either as new or existing. And it's like great for sales, most people jump on the daily sales call. You have any interest in joining our operations? We have a daily call we run where we work with our team.
Right.
You be on the next one. And if they don't respond or they book it, then great. Then if they don't respond, then it's, by the way, on Wednesdays, we have an upcoming board meeting. You have any interest in hopping on, right? You learn the most about the systems.
All right. And so it's some like after how many weeks or messages do you want to start mentioning the replays?
I
Or
think
is
it's
that
after every board meeting. Right? Like
okay?
this should be the sequence after every, we'll start
Okay.
with maybe every Wednesday, right? Every Wednesday afternoon. It's like, hey, this is where you're at. Right? So I think it's once a week.
Okay. So once a week we kick off. It's just an adaptation of our video tracking workflow. If they
Yeah.
didn't, and even if they didn't register, we want to be offering the replay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey,
Okay.
we didn't see you happen to register. Maybe we missed you. Right?
So you didn't register, no show, Zoom show, and then yeah. So that's all different. We need to make sure our video tracking workflow can tell if they registered or not.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
board meeting is gonna come
Check that
from,
please don't track.
that's not on the go ahead level, right? If we post the replays, that's probably I'll feather that out with you, Rob. If you guys think we can run the board meetings inside the community, right, then maybe there's value there, but they've been on Zoom.
I think they should stay in Zoom because these are live. With
Yeah.
I don't, for my like sales morning meetings and stuff, that's all through Zoom, the scheduled Zoom meetings. Um, and I think that's better for live. I
Yeah.
mean, it wouldn't be run in the community section if you wanted to run it in Go High Level. You would be, it would be a different type of booking calendar. There's like a class booking calendar.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I think the live Zooms can stay in the,
It's too much effort to change it. There's no need.
yeah, we can post the replay to the I guess that's the question is,
I mean, Zoom automatically records and lets you share the replays.
yeah, we like right here, right? Let me just share so you guys can see.
Yeah, let me stop.
Like these are the replays of the trainings. And so got almost clicking at this one, right? Hour 46 minutes. And it can be a registration page off this. And so um I I mean maybe it makes sense on the Zoom Pixel still, right? I don't want to complicate it if this is already all in place.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the high level video players next. But I think Zoom via like because we can have the registration, right? Like view registration.
Right.
This is for the replay, right? You can see it, and I don't know if you can post the registration people on the replay to the I mean, I guess you don't need to register the replay if we're sending it to them because we already have their contact, right? They're
Yeah.
not registering for the replay.
We need,
So
I wish we could just automatically pass these updated replay links I know that you can, like, I have it set in my system where I have an email that comes to me every time the recording is finished. And I have Go High Level catch it by adding no reply at zoom.com as a contact. And so it gets caught in Go High Level. Um, there's also, we could set up an automation through Zapier that automatically grabs that email or when it comes into your inbox after those meetings, and it can search the subject line because I'm sure they all have the same title, right? Or a similar title.
Yeah.
Like mine, it says new
I
morning
think you
sales
could post
meeting.
it. Right. This is the recording completed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That'll work. And so we can just pass the most up-to-date recording link into a custom field.
Yeah, and listen, even if it's manual, I don't know. We'll figure the Zoom stuff out. Right. We'll figure the framework out while they build the bot logic.
Yeah.
I think if it's a class booking calendar and we can track those leads, and I think Go High Level and Zoom can be connected the way you are trying to do.
Yeah.
So we just have to click on that.
So can you guys get like create a list of the things that we need to create and kind of like create a project outline
Yeah.
on a
So,
document for us? That way we can
yeah,
distribute the
we
work to
already
his team too.
yeah, we already created a ClickUp task and already sent Mover to have the task.
Okay.
And this meeting, I'm going to just review all those things and just list down all those tasks that we have mentioned here.
Okay. So you guys can work on polishing that off, and then um I don't know if I don't know, the day is pretty much over. I don't know if it's realistic to have that by our 10 a.m. meeting tomorrow. But the next time we should go and we should look at, I want to look at our finished outline of the project so I can ensure that that it's correct and we're on the same page.
Yeah,
Uh,
so Padori already shared the script or the prompt in the chat. Can you just review that so that we know that we are on the right direction?
yeah. All right.
Oh.
This doesn't look like the okay, yeah. I forgot it was recruiting. Okay. How's this looking to you so far, Lewis?
Yeah, I was checking that. I think it looked okay when I was checking it.
Okay.
Obviously, I guess, is this Monarch Home Service a custom field, right?
Yeah.
Because that'll be per careers account. There's a bunch of them.
All right. So it needs to be a custom field.
Yeah, we can use custom field out there.
All right. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Is there a hey? Is this that's in the workflow, right?
That's the workflow, yeah. This just tells it how to reply, and then um
The only thing I don't see here is if they say they don't have experience, right? Because it says if they have experience. But if they don't have experience, we funnel them through to the apprentice pipeline step.
That's the point below, handling incomplete applications. Or maybe we can add another step like how to handle the
Yeah.
disqualifying.
Well, we're not disqualifying them. We're passing them to a different booking bot. Is that right?
Or
It's just an apprentice. It's just a pipeline step. Okay, thanks for your interest. Let me send your application over to the apprentice team for qualification. Right.
yeah,
So
we
it's
can
not a different
add that.
bot. It's just it's at the end of, if they don't have experience for the role or anything to say why they are experienced for the role, it's like, perfect. We really appreciate your interest. We're going to pass off your application to the apprentice team for qualification.
And then what happens after that? What does the apprentice team do?
It just stores in the pipeline step, and then the hiring managers go to that pipeline step to hire helpers.
Okay.
No scheduled interview. It's just a very low level entry point.
All right. So we just leave them. We're not actually wanting to book them for anything. We're just kind of leaving them right there for later.
Exactly.
Okay.
As if they qualified as not experienced.
So that is a disqualification, but we save them so we need to add a tag for no experience. And that way we can always pull them back up.
Yeah, noted.
All right. Well, that looks good. And then obviously we need to test it out and, work through kinks.
Yeah.
So we need this, and then we need the copy of the outbound messaging that's going to keep going to re-engage them to finish the conversation.
And can you actually install the MMA help desk button in their sub account? Will that be okay?
Say that again.
The MMA help desk in their.
I don't know if they want that or not. So let me show you what it is, Lewis. To help my team get support, we have this, and we do it for even our agency clients. So we could put this icon in your dash, and it gives you, like the sample script for if you have a rep calling, the AI script for the voice, and the outbound flows that are how I was just saying. So we just looked at the AI script. I was saying we also need the outbound flow, which is the thing that just continues sending them messages every, other day for a month to re-engage them to finish the conversation. And you have an IT request spot. You can book calls with our team, all types of stuff.
Yeah, I think something like that becomes important. Not out of the gate, but I think that becomes important as you think about packaging up the product, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys want this in your agency so that you guys can access us more easily or in other ways than just Discord. And so we can house our scripts.
No, I think it's fine for now. I don't want to add steps, right? Just leave it out and then we'll circle back.
Cool. And so, if you guys can, I know we talked about needing basically like 5 different nurture flows for the other side. We need one. So there's 6 total, one for this one as well. And then we need, I think the same conversational bot can probably handle all the scenarios let me go back and look at it while I think about it.
Let me send you the script.
It'll be the same conversational bot, but then it'll go to different booking bots depending on if they're sales or any of these. So it's 2 booking bots, one for this one and one for this one. And so at the same time as it switches them to it adds the tag for either marketing, operations, pricing, sales, or finance. Sales is going to switch them to a booking bot and to an outbound campaign for that. And then if it's any of the other tags, it should switch them to a booking bot that is going to offer the group call.
Yeah.
Is it 5 different group calls?
No, one group call.
Okay. So then, yeah, so 2 booking bots, 1 conversational bot, and then we need the video tracking that should also initiate a campaign that's like, there should be these messages shouldn't stop after the 1 reply. Like our current video tracking, it should keep going for like a month. And then if they say not interested or they reach,
there's always just next videos, right? And so it's like, we see you missed this one, do you want the next one?
okay, yeah, so just continually, yeah, this is a weekly message that goes out. We should be getting them to try to register for it, and then the day after. So once, yeah. Okay, so the booking bot's continuing, but then every week we're gonna send them 1 message according to which category they fall into.
Yeah, and remember, just to clarify this, right? There's almost like an automatic if tag logic here. Tag logic per 3 Zoom, right? If then, so you guys decide how to reword this, but basically it's 3 Zoom registrations, right? 3 Zoom types. If 3 Zoom types, right? If 3 Zoom types registered, then replay workflow, right? And so I think you could customize the workflow so that then depending on which Zoom, right? If they said they were interested in the management Zoom, right? Well, then that's that specific reply, right? It's the same workflow, but it's for that. And maybe I'm overcomplicating it, but remember, we're going to run just for logic. There's a daily sales Zoom and there's a daily work with our team Zoom. And then there's a weekly board Zoom, right? And so the first 2 are like, hey, are you interested in what type of content are you most interested in? Blah, 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 blah. Sales, great. We got a daily sales call, booking bot, right? Sales operations finance, whatever. Okay, perfect. We got to work with our team bot, right? And then if they register right on those 2 flows, then it's going to be the same Zoom replay, no show. Hey, I see you missed the work with our team, right? Do you want to set up a direct call or do you want to watch a replay, whatever, right? Or I don't know. Once we can customize one to a workflow, but this is the weekly one. So regardless of what happens to the contacts here, right? To your point, weekly, it's going to pass off. If they responded or not, we got a board call. Am I making it more complicated, Rob, or you understand what I'm saying?
No, I think I understand what you're saying. So we're gonna be. So wait, the daily with our team call is not sales, or is that also sales?
Yeah, sales and with our team.
Okay, so this is for anything besides sales.
Yeah, so you got the sales here, right? And then you got our daily with our team.
Okay.
Right. And this is the weekly board meeting. And so I brought these stickers in just to clarify further, right? Like as the conversation's happening, there's going to be a couple meetings they can join daily. And after those meetings happen, right, we should be following up with them. What'd you think about the meeting, right? How'd our team do? Do you think we can help you scale? Right?
Yeah.
Like there's that flow coming off any Zoom show.
Right.
And any Zoom no show. Did you happen to catch a training? If you're interested, or would you rather have our team help you?
Yeah.
Right. So this is consistent regardless of Zoom trigger. Zoom happened.
Right.
Right. And that's the follow-up, right? And then the replay.
Daily calls. So every day?
Huh?
Not every day, right?
What?
So every day, like we have the sales and the with our team calls. We don't want to be sending them. Do we want to send them these no-show messages every day?
If they were if they registered, right? That's what I'm saying. This tag is if they registered for that daily call and they didn't show, or they showed, right? We should be following up with anybody that showed or didn't show if they hit, yes, I'll take Thursday at 2 o'clock. Show, didn't show, tag, follow up.
Okay. That makes sense, Nayan.
Yeah, I can understand.
Um, all right. I feel like we've gotten it all on here, and we've got this recording too. So I don't think we should have trouble building out an overall project, project of the whole thing out in ClickUp, and
Yeah,
then we can review it together and then
sure.
just work. And Mubashir, do you have the emails of everybody else? I know you were asking me to have Lewis send it.
Actually, I don't have the emails of everyone in the team. So Louis,
I'll send it.
yeah,
right.
so Louis will need to send it.
Sure, I'll send it.
Well, we're gonna be moving pretty quick, it seems like, Lewis.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. And then Mubashir, you and Nyan connected on the recruiting bot?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Lewis, would you mind if I use this recording as like content to like give people examples of what I can help with?
No, I don't care.
This is fire. Go straight
What
on
would
you.
be specific, what would be specific, on, like, would it be specific about,
I won't have your. I don't think we've said anything that would really, identify anybody.
yeah, I don't mean that. I mean about like specific logic about how we're going to market. No, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think that it would just be really helpful for people to see how I can come in and
Yeah.
we're
No, I
helping you
think
develop a
I
SaaS
think that-
product.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
And I do think my highest value is essentially SaaS coaching and then, done with you SaaS development.
Yeah, big time. No, I think it's a good fit.
Yep. It feels really good to me to be able, because I know this is like my most valuable skill, and feels really good to me to be having a business around it, and getting the validation from you that it's and seeing that we can jump in, that I can get my head into somebody else's system and figure it out.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, listen, this is the piece that most people are missing, right? How all the tech connects, but not from like a technical component, like an API component, right? There's two really big parts for helping people scale their businesses. How does the tech connect efficiently? But
Right.
then more importantly than that, how does the strategy and the messaging map up to the tech?
Yeah, I mean, it takes somebody that has a really strong understanding of sales, marketing, and tech to do this.
Exactly.
Well, sweet, man. So we'll get the plan over to you guys. I don't know. I doubt it'll be ready by 10 a.m. tomorrow. I expect that's probably what they'll spend their time working on tomorrow. So I'm not sure if a meeting is necessary tomorrow at 10 a.m., but I do think we should plan regularly for 10 a.m. after tomorrow. So starting Monday. Is that good with you?
Yeah, sounds good. And I'll just follow up with you in the morning. So Nyan, you and Mubashir are gonna handle the bot flow. What are we doing about the recruiting bot? What are we doing about the stale contacts? You guys are just gonna update that flow and
Oh,
let us.
yeah. So as soon as we have the campaign, so we've got the outbound campaign that needs to be done, and the bot's
Yeah.
already done. So as soon as the outbound campaign's done, we'll go in and review that. I imagine that'll be done later tomorrow afternoon. And so we
Yeah.
can send it to you to review the copy, Lewis.
Yeah.
And once it's done, then we just drop them in to the flow.
Yeah, perfect.
Money flows in, baby. I think that's that.
All right, guys. Thanks, Mubashir. Just want to make sure Mubashir you're plugged in.
And Lewis, I'll go ahead and
Yes, I am in.
I'll go ahead and run the card for this week. And what day did we start? Was it Monday?
I think
like
we talked on Monday. I think we started on Tuesday.
Okay. So I'll just cut it short a little bit for this week, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds
1/5
good.
off. All right, sweet. Sounds great, guys. I will talk soon.
All right, guys. See ya.
Any other questions from Nyan? I know like I've been kind of dominating I want to make sure you've had time to ask any questions you have.
Yeah, so I already took some notes and added in the chat, and I have also other notes. So I think first of all, I'm going to note down all these things that has been talked here and send you for review for like prioritizing the things. So I think that's how we moved to work.
Okay.
So I will try to make something before 10 tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then if you'll have it before 10, then maybe me and Lewis should hop on and review it.
Sure.
All right, Lewis. So I'll see you at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you all. Thank
We'll
you,
be
Naya.
sure. I'm gonna call you, Mubashir. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.